report C1, and today I'm going to be doing a think aloud about the reading comprehension strategy of making predictions. So, what are predictions? Well, we use predictions before we begin reading a book in order to try to understand what the book's going to be about. Now, what on the book can we use to help us make our predictions? We can use the title, and the title will give us information of what we think the whole book's going to be about, but we can also use the illustrations or the pictures in the book to get an idea about what's happening as the story goes on. Now that we're in grade 3, we're going to be using full sentences when we make our predictions. How do we begin those sentences? We can use I think that, or we could also say I predict that. In order to model predictions today, I'm going to be using the book The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein, illustrated by Mark Pett. So, we begin at the beginning of the book. We first look at the cover and the title. So, what was the title again? The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. So based on that title, what do we think the book might be about? Well, I predict that the book's going to be about a girl who never made mistakes. But what else could that title tell us? I think that it might be about a girl who's never made mistakes, but maybe in this book, she might make a mistake. You will then go on to look at the illustrations in the book to guess what's happening in the story. So looking at this illustration, what do we think is happening? We see the little girl standing behind a curtain looking out in an audience. So I think that the little girl is looking out because maybe she's going to be doing a performance. Now looking at the illustrations on these two pages, what do we think is happening? Well, I think, using the items over here, the little girl is performing, doing a juggling act. Looking at these pictures, what do we think is happening? Well, I think that the hamster seems to have sneezed in the air. Now looking at these pages, what do we think is happening? Well, I think that the hamster sneezed in the air, causing the water balloon to burst and land on her head. Looking at these pages, what do we think is happening? Well, I think that the water balloon landed on her head, and she doesn't seem to look very happy here about it. And now she's looking at the whole audience looking at her, having made a mistake. And what do we think is happening here based on the pictures? Looking at this picture, I think that she looks very confused about the mistake she has just made. And then, looking at this picture, I think that she's starting to laugh about what happened. And looking at this picture, it seems she's laughing very hard about what happened. And what do we think is happening here? Well, I think after having made her first mistake, she's come home and gone to bed and is able to have a very good night's sleep. So after you've gone through the book, looking at the title and looking at the illustrations and having made your predictions about what you think is going to happen, you will then read the book and you can compare what actually happens in the book to the predictions that you made about the book.